Hello, hello, everyone. Nettie Owens here with saparigroup.com, and I want to introduce you to or reacquaint you with Victoria Whitfield and strategicmeditation.com. Today, I brought Victoria on specifically so she could talk to us about strategic meditation. We were having a funny conversation right before we jumped on, and I almost slipped up in how I just said that. But I want you to hear what she has to say about strategic meditation for you as a business owner. I know that you're probably sitting here thinking, why do I want to listen to you or Victoria? So I want to tell you a little bit about both Victoria and what she does, or she'll tell you a little bit more about what she does. I'll tell you a little bit about Victoria, and then you'll be so intrigued, you'll just have to stay on. So Victoria and I have known each other now for almost 7 years. It's getting up to that point, lucky number 7. And I have used her support and systems to help me tap into my natural intuition, which has just been critical as a business owner to know that I always have a source that I can turn to when I'm looking to make important business decisions. Victoria has done this not only for me, but for many people literally across the globe, and specifically business owners, to help them reacquaint themselves with their own natural intuition, with their own source of truth. And she does this through a series of events, speaking engagements, one-on-one work. And I'm so excited to have you back with us today, Victoria. So thank you for joining me.
Yay, I'm so happy to be here. And it's been such a pleasure being a part of your community and watching it grow over the years. I'm one of the few who was there for the birth of this business, this wonderful, powerful community that you've created, Nettie, and using this wonderful practice of strategic meditation to keep us aligned with the vision for where you authentically want to go has been critical over the years. And it's just been wonderful seeing you and your community blossom, as well as when we introduce it to more and more business owners, CEOs, and founders, how much more energy they have to keep that momentum going.
Mm-hmm. I love that word, momentum. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, about how that applies to what we're talking about today. Tell us more about your company. What do you do? Who do you serve? How do you do it? We'd love to hear.
So I founded strategicmeditation.com. Since Victoria Whitfield, you can Google me. For the last 13 years, I've been serving founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs in being able to get and stay grounded and clear in their mind, body, and especially in their business by managing and mastering your energy. Your energy is everything, especially in business. I bring my energy training background as a Reiki master teacher and a meditation teacher. I bring that background to my business strategy and leadership coaching for my students and clients so that we take a more holistic approach. The people who I serve are especially impact driven. They are motivated by being able to see a change happen in their teams, in their families, in their communities, in their industries. They really want to see that happen. And they are also high EQ, deeply emotionally and energetically sensitive individuals. That makes us passionate, right? Having that connection to what lights us up and what we really, really stand for and believe in is our secret sauce, absolutely, as the amazing founders and game-changing individuals that we are. And the bigger the front, the bigger the back, they say, is in Chinese medicine. So when you have a lot of really great, passionate energy, that can also turn business and your work life into a roller coaster where you have cycles of burnout. And so what I do is I support my impact-driven leaders and entrepreneurs in being able to balance and manage and even master their own energy so they can continue to keep, again, that momentum going.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad for you to share it in that way and kind of help us understand a little bit more. You have a very specific focus these days in what you're doing, and you talk about strategic meditation. So, could you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So strategic meditation is my focus because I've worked myself into the hospital. I come from a line of entrepreneurs that have worked themselves to the bone. I never got to meet my maternal grandfather because he actually dropped dead at work at 52 years old. He didn't put his health first, and coming home to his daughters, his three daughters, first, he put being the best. He was the most incredible district manager of sales teams for an extremely successful lumber yard. He's extremely competitive, but all of that passion and all of that influence, unfortunately, eventually consumed him. And he dropped dead at work of a massive heart attack. Both of my parents, by the way, in this lifetime, I've had to separately, unbeknownst to one another, I've had to drive them to the ER because their high blood pressure, because of the stress at work, had caused them to be unresponsive or to black out, etc. Where we're working so hard. And myself as well. I've worked myself into the hospital, not asking for help, knowing that I needed it, right? But instead ended up in an accident where my hands were like crushed in a window. From now on, I remember that day because this is my normal thumb. I'm pressing as hard as I can on my left thumb. You see, it's a 45-degree angle instead of a 90. And that's the contusion that I'll have for the rest of my life to remind me. I got to put managing myself and my can-do attitude, my toxic at times can-do attitude, I got to put that energy management of myself first so that I can be perpetually productive, not just getting a lot done in a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a sense of sustainable productivity. And so that's where the birth of strategic meditation came from, is out of my own pain and out of pain that I've seen in our sisters and brothers in business. And what strategic meditation is meditation that is done first before a targeted action is taken. So in short, I like to refer to it as pausing powerfully, right? When you pause powerfully to make sure that you ready and aim before you fire, you don't just come out Sylvester Stallone style, like, I'm going to take some action. Yeah. And if you've ever seen those 80s action movies, they'll be like, and everyone's just standing there like not getting hit. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's essentially the marksman's version of the entrepreneur throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to get this done. Oh, I saw an article that said I should do these 6 steps to get your first client, or I signed up for a program that said, 12 steps to a turnaround, or whatever. I saw this out there said, do these things. And so I'm just going to do those things out there, and I'm going to fire until hopefully some of my bullets land on a target that I wanted. But for anyone who's actually practiced marksmanship, every bullet costs. Every bullet costs. So you can't just, it's incredibly luxurious to just all the time. But if you think of those bullets as our energy and bits of time, right? If we don't take care and value our energy in those bits of time, we're just going to run out of it. And that's why we burn out. So when we practice strategic meditation and we pause powerfully first before we take a targeted action, studies have shown that it increases our productivity by 120%. That means I've got a mini me next to me who's 20% more excited and more intelligent than me working on this as I work on it. And I've always loved to clone myself. I love myself. I'm amazing. So to have like an extra one that's even more fabulous would change my life. And in fact, I've seen that the more that I practice strategic meditation, the more money generating or needle moving activities I'm doing consistently, simply because I stop to ready, aim, and fire. Process is done in a very certain way. It's a repeated step by step process so that you are able to hit your mark repeatedly on demand every single time. So that's why it's the strategic meditation is a process that I've trademarked. But what I notice is the difference between people who are doing it and not doing it. When you do it, you just go faster and you're able to conserve so much more energy. Yeah.
What stands out for me right now is a email, I think it was, that I read the other day, talking about how, um, actually, no, I think it was in Donald Miller's book. If you're all familiar with Donald Miller, Story Brand, great thinker, entrepreneur. And he was talking about how the margins for small companies are just so much slimmer.
Mhm.
Um, you know, a larger company, a larger organization might have a little bit of fat, in to spare, and so they can be buoyed even if they take a couple of aims that don't pan out. But for small businesses, one bad shot can take them down, right? So this idea that you would ever move forward without being really thoughtful about the move you're about to take, we don't have that luxury as a small business. We have to be thinking and be careful. So it's really coming from, I see this two sides. One, it's managing your energy so you don't take a bunch of unnecessary actions that cause you um, to burn out. And two, it's tapping into a knowledge base so that you can make more clear guided decisions for yourself and managing your resources and finances. I mean, obviously time is one of those, but so is energy and so is money. And we have to be mindful of all of that. And I also, I mean, as I said, I'm like, gosh, there's so many other resources that we manage well when we don't take a bunch of unnecessary action, like our reputation and our clients and our teams. All of them can suffer when we just spray bullets or tactics or strategies out into the room. And I just want to give a shout out to Deidre, who's joined us here today. Good to have you with us today, Deidre. All right. So if you're listening here and you're thinking, this is interesting, this sounds like an interesting concept I'd like to check out, I'd love to direct you to Victoria's page, strategicmeditation.com. Check it out. Is there some place they should go when they go to this website? Where should they head?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's pretty comprehensive when you go to strategicmeditation.com. It gives you statistics, it gives you the step by step, etc. I would especially recommend you scroll to the bottom because there's a wonderful free opt in at the bottom there that is called Your Intuition in Business. So when you scroll down there, it is a 3-part video series where I show you the exact specific process that I was talking about of how you can pause powerfully in a strategic way on demand every single time. There's a very specific way to do it for your business. And it's a 6-step process that I share in that video series. It's free. I used to actually charge 10 grand before to have people, and I got it regularly to teach people this process, but I was challenged by my inner guidance, my inner compass, to make this available to the world. So go ahead down there, bottom. If you're on desktop, it's the bottom left corner. If you're on mobile, it'll be the first thing at the bottom when you scroll down. Intuition in Business, opt in and get that there.
Awesome. That is such a generous share. I'm remembering back to the first time I learned this strategy and how powerful it was at the beginning. and how meaningful it has been. I don't always, full confession, I don't always tap into it as much as I should, but whenever I do, it's useful and gives me what I need. So
That's perfectly fine. The one thing about it is that it's a skill. So the same way that I don't always do yoga, but when I do, the stretches are so deep, right? And it really refreshes me. It helps cleanse and detox my body. It's a skill. It's something that I have to learn as an exercise to do over time. But I'm not going throughout the day like pretzeling up and yogaing all over the place.
why not?
I know people who do, who are amazing individuals, right? It's fabulous for optimizing your body. But just like yoga or riding a bike, you may not do it all the time, but once you know how to practice the skill, you never forget. So it's always there whenever you're ready to pick it back up.
That is 100% true from my experience, and I'm so glad for this opportunity to share it with the world. It's just so generous that you've put that at the front for people to access. So we're on here talking, and one of the big reasons why we've even come into this room to have this discussion is because Momentum Live, the event that I host for business owners twice a year, is coming up, and you are back again, not only as a sponsor, but you are also presenting part of our programming. And I wanted to find out from you, what made you say yes? What made this an important partnership for you?
Mhm. So I believe in the power of connecting and planning. I believe in the power of connecting and planning. And when I've seen the way that you do connecting and planning, Nettie, it is so elegantly structured that I cannot help but leave with my strategic plan in hand and a fist full of contacts that are extremely high level. You have this down to an exceptional system, right? And so when I first really witnessed the work that you do with Momentum, Nettie, it was so clear of like, wow, you really know how to pull creativity and to pull clarity and to pull connection and excellent, clear strategic plans out of people. You've structured it so magnificently. I've said many times, I believe you're actually the best in the industry at it. And so it was a no-brainer when you invited me to be a sponsor years ago. And I have continued to year after year because I love the community that you've built and continue to grow. And I also really love the work. Not only do I benefit as a sponsor, being able to be connected to really amazing, heart-centered, as well as high-level entrepreneurs and CEOs by being part of this event, but also by participating in the event, I also am able to get my strategic planning done in such a clear and powerful, on demand every single time. And I'm a fan of that. Like, I'm able to get that done for myself and leave with, I know exactly what the next 6 to 12 months is going to look like down to the day, and you do it so powerfully. Um, as a side note, I'm also a fan of office supplies, and I just really, it speaks to one of my love languages, how many incredible office supplies you have there so that we can think through all the colors and the stickies and the pens and the markers and the blah. Like, one of my special spots that you hit so elegantly is office supplies, and so that's another not so like elegant, but very important to me reason why I love coming back. I know you love them just as much as I do. So woo.
That is not what I expected you to say. And I'm so glad you did. True story. I had one young man walk into Momentum Live as an attendee for the first time that he showed up for this, And we always have a variety of things on the table because we do a variety of activities. But he's like, I had no idea why there were colored pencils and tissues like on the table. He was just, it's like, I don't know what I just got myself into, but all of it has a purpose, and we use it all during the time that we're there. We just want to make sure that in this space, you literally have everything you need to think deeply, and be ready to do that planning. Because I know, and you know, that once you make that strategic plan, then it's easy to take the steps to follow it, and you have aimed carefully so that you're not taking a bunch of actions, but you're taking the ones that are aligned with the vision you're creating, and that you have the resources and energy to complete. So yes, but yes, I do have a special place in my heart for office supplies as well.
Yeah.
And if you're at all interested in learning more about Momentum Live, I encourage you to go to the link momentumlive.info and check us out. See what we're doing there. If it speaks to you, please, register or reach back out to me. Let me know what questions you have. And my hope is that we will see you there with us. As you're listening, if you're thinking, interesting, but I don't know when it is or where it is, certainly follow the link. The next one coming up is March 28th, 29th, and 30th. And we have a kickoff mixer event on March 27th, where you'll get to meet Victoria and all of our presenters, sponsors, and other guests that are coming just to enjoy a meal and a drink with us before the party begins. So I hope to see you there. Reach out to me with questions. Any last thoughts for our listening audience here, Victoria?
Yeah, so I just heard intuition to say that, where is it? It's in the Washington D.C. area, in a magical town called Havre de Grace, as the locals would say, Maryland. So if you are on the East Coast or in the area, make sure that you drop by, especially by the pre-event mixer, if you would love to connect with a lot of really awesome high-level masterminding CEOs in the area. It's such a powerful energy to be a part of, and we would love to see you there.
It's true. The magic starts the night before, and some amazing things have happened just in that dinner alone. So come on by. We'll be in Havre de Grace at McGregor's on March 27th from 6 to 9 p.m. Super easy to pop in and join us there. Those details and all the information about the entire event can be found at momentumlive.info. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Victoria, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
See you soon.
All right.